Welcome to my review of a Conrad hotel in Hong Kong. I stayed in an executive peak view room on the 61st floor, which is the top floor of the hotel. I'm going to be reviewing all parts of the room, as well as showing you the buffet breakfast that's available, and also some of the facilities, like the on-site gym. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. The Conrad Hotel has a truly excellent location, located above Pacific Place Mall, which directly connects to Admiralty MTR station. Also connected are the equally luxurious Shangri-La Hotel and JW Marriott Hotel. You can access the hotel from the mall in two ways. One, on the 5th floor here via this walkway, alternatively, on the 3rd floor of the mall itself. Just look out for this sign next to the Dior store, and then you turn left, which takes you directly to elevators to your rooms, the lobby, or wherever in the hotel you want to go. Speaking of elevators, I really enjoyed the design of the elevators in the Conrad Hong Kong. The front just looks like a standard elevator, nothing to write home about. However, the back has this amazing design which was present in every single lift. I really appreciate it when hotels go to the extra effort on these small touches. My room was on the 61st floor of the hotel, which is the hotel's top floor, and is just a short walk from the escalators. Turn left here, and there's my room on the right, room number 6123, which is an executive peak view room. I asked for a Victoria Harbour view room, but unfortunately none were available during my stay, as it was at quite high occupancy. As you can see here, most of the rooms face Victoria Harbour, so this was a shame, but I do understand. I booked this quite last minute. I was really pleased with the room I'd been assigned. Walking through the short corridor, you get into the main room, and you can see it's really spacious. There's a huge king-size bed in here, and just out of the window, you can see this amazing view looking over the peak. It was wonderful to be able to see both Hong Kong's high-rise skyscraper skyline as well as greenery. It looked even better at night, but my camera didn't do it justice. Hotel rooms in Hong Kong are notoriously small, so it's great to get such a spacious room. As you can see from this alternative angle, there really is a lot of floor space here, so you certainly won't feel cramped. The hotel was also very generous with the amenities provided. Complimentary water was placed throughout the room, and I had as much as I could possibly drink. The coffee machine was an espresso machine, which I was very pleased to see had 4 caffeinated pods, as well as various things like sugar, sweetener, and TWGT, which is a high-quality tea brand, and they certainly didn't skimp on this. The bed itself was super comfortable, and the housekeeping did a fantastic job of ensuring that the sheets were ironed to within an inch of their life. It came with 4 pillows, although you could request more if you need it, and they also provided a great level of support. Even with 2 people in this bed, you're not going to be cramped in the slightest. At this point, I thought I'd head over to the window again, just to take in that view. It really is incredible. I can't speak to what the views would look like on the lower floors, but from floor 61, fantastic. Shortly after I arrived, they sent up a welcome amenity to me, consisting of some Chinese tea, which I believe was a jasmine tea, as well as a few small snacks, which would be sort of crispy pastry things. Very nice. I loved the tea so much, I actually bought some from the hotel to take home with me. It's probably the best tea I've ever had. The television in the room was just the right size relative to the distance from the bed. And yes, it's a smart TV, so you can connect your devices to it and stream your own Netflix. In keeping with Conrad tradition, a small teddy bear is provided in each room, this one with the Conrad branding on its paw. You can take this home with you if you want. The room also featured several artworks throughout. No explanation was provided, so I'm not sure what they were of, but I quite liked them. It was tastefully done and kept with the theme of the room. Also provided in the room was this small stool for you to put your bags on. This is really handy, so you don't have to keep on reaching down to the floor when you want to unpack things or take things out. On the side of every bed was a telephone, a lamp, and also charging points. I was particularly pleased to see with the charging points that they provided both USB-A and USB-C charging ports. The power sockets weren't universal, they were UK style, but that's not a problem for me. 90% of my devices use this. Air conditioning was controlled on this panel on the wall, although as it was February, I didn't really need it. Next to the bed is a working desk with a really comfortable chair and plenty of power sockets to charge your laptops and any other devices. The room keys were made out of wood and had a really nice design. Very cool to see. Contained within the desk was various stationery such as envelopes and letters should you need to use it, as well as the room service menu, although I didn't use this during my stay. As I was staying in an executive room, I had access to the executive lounge, the times of which are featured below here. If I wanted to have it, I could also have breakfast downstairs, which is not a guaranteed benefit for executive rooms, but it was provided to me all the same. Checking out the rest of the room. Several wardrobes were provided just near the entranceway. These contained a safe, laundry bags for using the in-room laundry, several storage areas for you to put your clothes, and just over to it was what's effectively a wardrobe, but came with plenty of hangers. I was pleased to see that these were high-quality hangers as well. There was a complimentary shoe shine service if you wanted to take advantage of it, which I did later in the video. And the wardrobe also featured an ironing board and an iron, and also an umbrella. Thankfully, I didn't need to use the umbrella on my trip. A minibar was also provided, containing several spirits, cocktails, as well as snacks. There was also a fridge containing chilled drinks. A number of alcoholic drinks and non-alcoholic drinks were provided. Unfortunately, these were chargeable, and as you can see here, the charges were, I'm going to say, extortionate. I mean, we're looking here at about $12 for a bottle of water, $11 for a chocolate bar, and $20 for a miniature of vodka. That's a pass for me. The bathroom was finished in marble and contained a very large tub for soaking. Plenty of towels were provided as well. And also, there were dual sinks, his and hers. Off to the side, separated by a separate door, was the toilet. Unfortunately, this was not a smart toilet that has all of the cleaning functions you would typically see on a Japanese brand, although I did like the attention to detail, such as the Conrad sticker on the toilet paper. Provided in the bathroom was a hairdryer, which was plugged in and so easily accessible, and just about every toiletry you could imagine, from toothpaste to toothbrushes to shavers, vanity kits, shower caps, and a mouthwash. All of these were replenished daily. The shower was located just next to the entrance and was a decent size, although not comically large like you sometimes see in high-end hotels. One negative I have to note, it wasn't a detachable shower head, which meant just washing your hair was quite difficult. I'll be honest, the shower gel and shampoo, I've never heard of this brand before. By Rado? But look, it was pleasant enough and was in self-pumping bottles rather than takeaways. I can't comment as to the quality other than the smell because I brought my own. About an hour after check-in, I thought I'd try out the shoe shine service. As I mentioned before, this is complimentary. You just phone down, put your shoes in a basket, and 1 hour later, they arrive in shoe bags. I've got to say, they did a very good job, and very, very quick too. Really pleased to see this, as I was here on a business trip, so great to get my shoes in tip-top condition. The executive lounge is on the 59th floor and is open for the hours that I showed you earlier in the video. It's got a very nice entrance, although the lounge itself is quite small. I won't say too much about this. The food and drink was to a high quality, and the service was absolutely impeccable. I didn't eat here much though, as Hong Kong has some fantastic restaurants. Each night when I returned to the room, they did a turn-down service, including replenishing all coffees and teas that you might have drunk during the day, placing slippers by the side of your bed, as well as water, and generally making the bed down. This was done like clockwork, and the housekeeping did a really good job. No complaints here. Anyway, let's check out breakfast. Each day, I chose to eat at the Garden Cafe on the lower levels. I've got to say, I think a lot of people had breakfast included in their room because this was packed each and every morning. I never had to wait, but only just. The room has floor-to-ceiling windows which let in plenty of natural light, and the tables and chairs were comfortable too. Each day, some form of noodle was provided, some kind of steamed vegetable. I'd say that every other day, some sort of fried rice was on offer. If you're feeling slightly more adventurous, you could also have chicken feet with your breakfast. I didn't. You could also choose from various dim sums, including pork and shrimp dumplings and various bows. On the western front, there were 2 sausages available, a chicken sausage and a beef sausage that had a cheese in it. These were quite nice. Roasted tomatoes were also on offer, as well as eggs of a hard-boiled variety. You could also choose from having porridge for your breakfast, and also there were various other things like mushrooms, meatloaf, rice cakes in soy sauce, radish cakes, which were absolutely delicious, and hash browns. There was also a made-to-order omelette section and a made-to-order noodle soup section. A variety of freshly squeezed fruit juices were on offer, as well as chilled and warm water. Various tarts, pastries, sometimes donuts were put out, and in addition to a wide selection of milks, they also had yogurts, smoothies, chia seed puddings, and Yakults. If you fancied, there was a congee station available with various condiments that looked quite tasty, as well as various breads and waffles. I tried the waffles one day, and with the sauces, they were really nice. I enjoyed them a lot. Various cut fruits were also available, although I must say it was quite melon heavy. If you're not a fan, you're going to be disappointed. Various cut cheeses, as well as cold cuts, and a number of dips like hummus or sun-dried tomatoes were available. They also had a make-your-own salad bar, although I've got to say, this doesn't look that appealing. I'm personally not a fan of those leaves. Overall, I'd say this breakfast was objectively very good, but in the interest of fairness, it's not the best in Hong Kong, or indeed Asia for that matter. Absolutely nothing wrong with it, but the bar is set so high for breakfasts in this region, and yeah, I just wasn't blown away. If you ate a bit too much for breakfast and want to exercise it off, or frankly at any other time, as the gym was 24 hours, is an on-site gym. This was pretty impressive and used up what is quite valuable floor space in Hong Kong. There are a wide variety of machines, including treadmills, weight machines, cross trainers, and just to the back there was a little yoga studio. This was an impressive gym as far as hotel gym standards go. In addition to having a number of free weights, you had pretty much every machine you could want to get a decent work in. They also had things like bench press machines, which are not common in hotel gyms these days. Overall, I was very pleased with my stay at the Conrad Hong Kong. It's a very high quality hotel and the service is impeccable. There's a very high bar to Hong Kong hotels and this one meets it. It's not cheap, it is probably going to cost you about double what a standard hotel would cost you, but I really enjoyed my stay. I've been staying at this hotel for over a decade, although this is my first video. I've been many times, and I will be back, and I highly suggest you pay it a visit.